Oh, hey. I'm just having a coffee right now. I'm not allowed to drink it at night, though. I hope Minty doesn't see this. I want to make today's production a little more mature than usual. You see, I mostly talk about underrated games or JRPGs. But today I wanted to break the tradition once again and talk about a game that many hold dear to them. And with the recent tragedy that was Mario's death, I don't think I can think of another one than this one. Super Mario Galaxy. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest and most monumental games of all time, and for good reason. With its outstanding soundtrack, mature storytelling, and accessible yet memorable level design, this game is something really special to a lot of people, including myself. If it wasn't for one of its two titles, I would have never been here for this company. Though I always asked myself, why hasn't a third entry ever been made? Mario Galaxy is a series that still holds a lot of potential. I recently decided to replay both games back to back, and during which I honestly started seeing a few ways the series could have been even better. These games were extremely successful, and I think there's still a lot of potential in a third and final sequel. Sadly, with Odyssey being the new and more popular 3D Mario, I highly doubt we'll see a glimpse of hope as before. But let's just imagine for a bit. I will discuss how a Mario Galaxy 3 could even work, and if done right, Mario Galaxy 3 could have not only been a perfect high note to the series, but also what Nintendo needed during a very painful era for them.
E3 2013 rolled around and that trailer came with it. Honestly, one of the most underwhelming trailers Nintendo's ever done. No to Galaxy 3, no to a wholly new 3D Mario, but instead, yes to a sequel to a handheld 3D Mario game, Super Mario 3D Land.
In order to understand the full potential of what a Galaxy 3 could look like, I want to bring up 3D World for a very important reason. You see, back in January of 2013, Nintendo published a direct-to-talk about the Wii U and its upcoming titles. They specifically said that there is a brand new 3D Mario game in development and will have a demo at E3 of the same year. For those who don't know, 3D Mario platformers are considered by many to be one of the best titles of their respective generations. If we look at the first three entries, 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, each game has its own look, feel, and style. They excel at what they're trying to be and have their own charm. Around this time, the last home console 3D Mario game was Galaxy 2, so it's fair to say we had some high expectations. On top of all this, the Wii U was, in short terms, a more powerful Wii. It makes a lot of sense to make a Galaxy 3, but with brand new additions, some new mechanics, and overall a newer and grander experience. But the moment we saw this being called our, quote, 3D Mario platformer, there were definitely a lot of people underwhelmed and disappointed. This is what I meant about how Galaxy 3 could have actually benefited more than you think. Think about it. This Direct was made to gather attention on the Wii U, the reasons you should get one, what it is, and what to expect. If you simply stated that your next 3D Mario was going to be something familiar yet better, now that you have better hardware, that would have easily made the console sell more units. It wouldn't have been too many, but then again, the PS4 and Xbox One were still a few months away, so you could have tried to redeem yourself. I know that E3 2011 was a mess for the Wii U's first impressions, but that didn't mean it had no second chances throughout its run. Look at the 3DS. It had a bad start, but with the help of Mario Kart 7 and 3D Land, sales were starting to increase. Now just to clarify, I'm not saying that 3D World was like the killer of Galaxy 3 potential and is a bad game. I played it when it released on the Wii U and had a blast. I just think that Mario 3D World's announcement had really bad timing. I would still be happy with its inclusion, but if you call this the new 3D Mario when you consistently had a record of masterpieces, you just disappoint your fans and, worse, miss potential buyers. Phew, what a way to let some steam off. Just to make it clear, as unrealistic and as unlikely as it is, this is stuff I would have wanted to see in a Galaxy 3. I did combine some ideas with other creators because they're ideas that sounded better than ones I could think of. Anyway, let's start with the story. Despite Galaxy 2 being my first experience with these titles, I really enjoyed Galaxy more because of the story. It may not be in everyone's taste, but I really adore it when such a silly concept takes a much more mature and dark tone. I don't mean I want Mario to be edgy or anything, but I do want to capture a bit of the magic of what was the first games built and maybe even expand upon its ideas. Here's what I thought of. It has been a few years since the Star Festival. Mario's enjoying his time as usual. That was until some crystals fell from the sky, destroying a lot of the buildings around the area. Mario was confused at what's going on and noticed that the sky was turning dark and a giant black hole was appearing. It was slowly taking everyone in the kingdom like a vacuum. As Mario saw Peach in her castle yelling for help, he platformed through the land being split apart to be able to save her, only to see her being grabbed by a dark and shadowy figure. And so you're aware, Bowser will not be the main antagonist this time. As Mario is still in the depths of the black hole, unable to save Peach and sees her get taken away, he slowly loses his breath. He starts suffocating and eventually passes out. But then, a mysterious light appears. It takes him out of the black hole and ends up at a familiar place, only to be greeted by Rosalina herself, saying that Bowser has not only been able to mess with the galaxies once again, but created a rift in the universe that will take everything and destroy it forever. So it's up to Mario and the baby Luma to save the universe once again. There's obviously more and more to this, but this is just the basic idea. I seriously doubt Miyamoto would let a Galaxy sequel have a story, let alone so dark like my version. I mean, I just put that Mario almost dies. Even I have to agree that that's a bit too extreme, but hey, I like it when stories are taken a little more seriously, you know? Now let's mention the more important aspect, gameplay. Though, I just got to be honest with you, I feel like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are way too easy. Now listen, I get that maybe I'm just saying this because I played these games like over 1,000,000 times, which you're not wrong, and obviously these two games are meant to be for a more casual audience, but I truly feel like if Galaxy 3 increased its difficulty just a little more, it would be a nice change of pace for returning fans. As for new fans, if they see it too difficult, they always have the first two to play instead. I'm definitely not asking for Mario Galaxy 3 to be the next Mario Sunshine or even Dark Souls, but a Mario Galaxy designed in a more hardcore view would be so nice. Whew, now that I got that out of the way, let's discuss actual levels. One of the strongest factors in the Galaxy series is that you can think of anything and it would still make sense thanks to the setting. Here are some ideas I came up with along with some other ones. I really want to see a galaxy themed around arts and crafts, kinda like Yoshi's Crafted World. We could make the first star a small way to introduce them to the world, solve a puzzle or two, and collect the power star through some simple platforming. The next star could be a new boss. Like maybe a giant cardboard contraption that starts shooting beams of energy, making a few parts of the level disappear due to some fire. Then we can have another star like the first one, but instead you traverse through the world in the aftermath after the destruction the boss made. I really want to see Galaxies do more of the structure now that I mention it. I always felt like the Galaxy games, mostly two, had good ideas, but I want to see a bit more of a progression throughout it. Even if the story is simple, like there's a few differences between stars, it really makes the experience feel more immersive. Back to what I was saying, I feel like an arts and crafts galaxy would be a nice idea. I also feel like a galaxy themed around Mario Sunshine would be a nice nod to the game. I personally don't like Sunshine because of the difficulty, but I would be amazed to see that. It could introduce a new power-up exclusive to the world that feels pretty similar to Flood. Oh, that reminds me. A world around an urban area like Neo Bowser's City Mario Kart would be the greatest thing I could ask for. You could have a mission where all the lights are off and your goal is to turn them on to reveal 5 silver stars scattered around the map. There's also room for a carnival-themed galaxy, a western-looking galaxy, a dinosaur galaxy, a medieval castle galaxy. The amount of potential for a game like this is almost endless. Even if Nintendo couldn't think of new ideas, they can always look at what they've done in the past and put a new spin on it. Like, heck, I just took a couple of simple ideas from the previous games and came up with stages these games never got. Let's now talk about power-ups. New abilities Mario can use is kind of a trademark when it comes to his games. I want to see a good amount of both new and old power-ups from the first games come back. For example, I really want to see the Red Star come back. Like many others, I felt like it was heavily underutilized and I really see a lot of potential. Sure, it can probably be broken, but you can definitely add some boundaries to where you don't want players to go. Here's a clever way you could do it. Let's say you're in the medieval castle galaxy I mentioned. You're able to use the Red Star to travel all over the outside of it to travel onto different platforms. But once you go inside the castle through a gate, you lose the power-up. Think of an effect like when B Mario touches water. Small limitations like that will help the level gain more of an identity thanks to the power-up. Other than the Red Star, I really want to see the Bee and Rock Mushroom come back along with the Ice and Cloud Flowers. And most importantly, bring back Yoshi. He's the best thing Galaxy 2 brought and I love him. I also just realized how unprofessional this is, so sorry about that. I just never felt so passionate about a game on camera. I also forgot to mention this, but please bring back the Spring Mushroom. I know a lot of people hate it for its clunkiness, but I really like it. Nathaniel Bandy, a Nintendo-focused creator, made a Galaxy 3 prediction series. It mentions a lot of ideas for galaxies, characters, and even amiibo support. The videos are quite old, but I recommend checking them out after our production. However, he did mention an idea that I really liked for a power-up. It was called the paper flower. Basically, imagine a galaxy where it's fully 3D, but once you grab the flower, the camera turns so that it's in a 2D space. Kinda like Super Paper Mario. I feel like a power-up like this has a lot of potential. You can make it so that to go to certain areas of the galaxy, you need to use the flower. On top of that, I would like to see a neat mechanic that I also forgot to mention. So remember when I said a dark and shadowy hand took Peach? What if all the enemies were possessed by the magic of that being and became these more powerful and deadly versions of an enemy? This can bring a good opportunity for what I'll call the light flower. The main focus of this power-up is to be a counter to these possessed versions of the enemies. You could spin the Wii remote or use the gamepad by pressing ZR, causing it to shoot out a ball of light like the fire flower. If it hits an enemy, it'll turn back to its normal form. You can then kill it again normally, or even use another light ball at it. We could further emphasize this a lot more with the final boss too. Just imagine Mario using the light flower against the giant shadow being. You then have to hit it a few times on its weak spots while platforming your way around the crumbling castle. Once you do that, the second phase happens. I really want it to be like Bowser's second phase in Galaxy 2, but longer and more dramatic, where you shoot light with the remaining pieces of the castle. A focus on both light and dark magic would make this game so dramatic and bring a new tone that would be just as great, if not better, than the first Galaxy title. Sure, this idea is basically Bowser's Fury in a way, but if we mix it up a bit, it'll definitely stand out. Also, by the time Galaxy 3 releases, Bowser's Fury wouldn't have been a thing, so points for originality, I guess. As for the rest of what I'd like to see, I want the music to be as perfect as the first two. I'm pretty sure it'll also use the gamepad, but with the combination of the Wii remote, it's likely there won't be many changes. I can mostly imagine that all the pointer functions being on the touchscreen, being able to shoot star bits with ZR and so on. Please bring new, but also returning enemies. All except those bees. Those are a threat to public health and my childhood. Mario Galaxy is easily one of the greatest games that we have been given. Do I still believe that we'll see a Mario Galaxy 3 on the Switch? Not really. Mario Odyssey is a full return to the roots of what a 3D Mario was, and with both 3D All-Stars and World, I just can't see a reason to add another 3D Mario onto the platform. But that doesn't mean it'll never happen. I was reading an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, one of Nintendo's game directors, and he spoke about the Mario Galaxy games in 2015 and stated the following. On the other hand, me and Yoshiaki Kozumi, director of Galaxy, are always looking to challenge Galaxy and do another 3D action title. However, we can't make so many games at once in parallel, but as the hardware technology gets better and advances, I think there will be a lot of opportunity for both options. This is far from confirmation, but it really shows that the developers care and want to make Galaxy 3, so there may still be hope. Mario Galaxy 3 may just be a rumor at the moment, but I feel like we'll get this game sooner than we think. But still, Nintendo, please don't add those bees, or I'll make a video essay on you. So those are my overall thoughts on what I'd like to see in Mario Galaxy 3. I'll be honest with you, I really want to make a review on the first two games now. If you ever want to see my honest take on the titles, please support us and tell me what you'd like for me to talk about next. Now if you excuse me, I better go finish this coffee before Minty sees me drinking it. This is Akariyoe from Mint Studios.